Hi, everybody. My name is James. That's Jason right there. He's right above me in the box, waving to us. And if you're watching along the live stream, you know that it's Sunday night. We love Sunday night, first and fourth Sundays of the month. We get to watch the GP series on the first Sunday of the month, and on the third series of the month, we get to watch the endurance round. So, Jason, you got anybody lined up for us yet?
Sure I do, James.
We're off to a great start.
The microphone. It's a Sunday thing. Lots of curveballs being thrown at us tonight, but I've got PJ and crew along, and you guys are always trackside down here. I love it. So ready to race, and there's like people hanging out in the paddock and everything. I always look over here. You guys are like putting helmets, cleaning visors. You know what I mean? Like you're ready to go. So what are you thinking of tonight's race?
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Ready?
I want to see what this guy's going to do tonight.
Hey, Jason, make sure that mic is nice and close to him.
I've only ran the outdoor once besides just this race, so still trying to figure that out. So
Jason,
I heard
he's gotta put- you gotta put the mic nice and close to him.
Track record on the outdoor?
Jason.
on the indoor, I took it from Marshall.
Really? Indoor track record from Marshall?
From Marshall, a 25.44 with a 6.
Yeah, he is our
So
new indoor track
4.4
record
is
holder.
gotta be lower than a 6.
Nice. Okay, cool. So, PJ, Katie, any plans for tonight besides following him?
I don't know the outdoor yet.
Yeah,
I
that's
still
all
gotta
right.
figure it out. I mean,
To beat him?
a 39.1 though, which I feel is not that bad. I don't know if that's good on the outdoor or not. I mean, considering I was second behind Marshall and he ran a 38.7.
Yeah, Marshall's just Marshall's Marshall, right? But
It's a different breed.
anything under 40, so 39s are very competitive. That's where most of the qualifying and the upper end of the qualifying comes in, so you should be in good shape. And I also heard maybe tonight, I'm not sure if it's officially happening, but Katie, you're going to be running back-to-back GPs tonight, right?
Let's do it. I ran a 12-hour. What worse can I get?
Yeah,
I'm
so
running back to back.
supposedly it's we gotta make this official, but I think it's the first female women's GP driver championship for K1. So I know there was an email sent out. We're still digesting everything, but we've got our 3 drivers. Savannah's on her way, so it'll be you, Rachel, and Savannah. So that should be a really good race, though. I know all 3.
Oh, yeah, it'll be rough.
The horns are gonna come out for sure on this one.
I imagine so.
They will.
Yeah, cool. So great catching up with you guys. I don't think there's anyone else here on fence line I can grab, but we'll kick it back to James, and I will run upstairs because it looks like we're going to get everything moving here pretty shortly.
Okay. Yeah, like Jason said, we're supposedly starting the women's GP series tonight. Did you guys get an email about it? We didn't. So I think what we'll do is we'll just have our 3 ladies run it, and if it's, I don't know, if it counts to points, I guess it counts to points, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. So, hello to Eric, who's joining us from Addison, Illinois again. Great to have you guys. I assume, Eric, that you're going to run the GP in Addison again tonight. PF Racing, always good to have you. And Free Willy Goss, who's going to be running tonight. He's hello from the paddock, so... Well, what can we fill time with? Let's talk about points first. Marshall Miller is the first to break 100 points in the GP Challenge. This is after round 5. We've completed the January through May, and he's sitting on top of the leaderboard comfortably. But everybody else below him, you can see how close it is between second and third, Rachel and David. And then you got a close tie between, not a tie, but Tyler and Armand. They are close in points. Armand missing one of the rounds. That is key to him being the 5th spot. And PJ also back down there with Nate. They're about 9 points apart. And then we have our last 3 on the top 10, Katie, Jonathan, and Brandon. And Jonathan, I finally fixed your last name. Got rid of the 2 S's on the bottom. So Jonathan Douglas is officially Jonathan Douglas. I think we're going to interview him today. I think we're going to talk to him. Jason's getting ready to join me up here in the booth. The way the points work, pretty simple. The number of drivers that show up in a given night is how many points are on offer for the night. So I think we have 16 drivers tonight. The first position will get 16 points, and then the second position gets 15, 14, all graduated down. There's only one bonus point in this round, and that is for the pole sitter. Pretty much cut and dry as far as the GP challenge goes.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So So let's switch to our full screen and welcome
Hey!
Jason.
This I can't drop this mic at least, so we
No.
should be good.
That was a great start.
Yeah, it was good. I always see them on the fence line. They're always so like dialed into the racing. They're here. It's I don't know. I love seeing like a family like
It's
them.
great.
We've got different families that compete, and it's like their Sunday routine. I love it.
I want to ask Katie when we're going to see the third generation of the family. But
Just
she's
talking.
still pretty young.
Yeah, I was talking to Tyler. He said that their 15-year-old is getting pretty quick. I think he's 15, or she's
Oh, Tyler's
15.
son?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I know we're going to see that side of it, but then Katie's kids,
She's
oh boy.
we saw her during the 12 hours, and I think she's, I don't know if I had to guess, 3, 2, maybe?
Yeah,
A few more years.
yeah,
But then we can have grandpa, mom, and daughter. That'd be
yeah.
awesome.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah, so thanks for interviewing them. Format for tonight, if you're not familiar or you're new around here, the GP Series runs 2 qualifiers. So we're going to run a 9-lap. We'll come back to 9 laps in a second. Then you're going to run another qualifier. Then the best of your 2 times is going to be sorted fastest to slowest. We'll put you in order, and then you get to run a position-based race. Now, the reason we have 9 laps is because we're running the outdoor track tonight.
Ooh.
And that's really the first time that we've run GP outdoors, because GP we tried to run it outdoors last month and it was still raining, but here we have all 3 garage doors open and ready for some track action tonight.
Love it. First outdoor GP.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Which may seem strange if you follow the stream because we've done outdoors before, but that has not been for GP yet. So
Yeah, it's always a good time. And then as you heard from Tyler and PJ, that they don't have a whole lot of outdoor track experience yet this year. So always good to get the jitters out. And
that's what we like.
That's exactly it. Yeah, so it'll be good. And then Marshall in the warm-up for the race just reset his outdoor record, I saw. So that's fun. Marshall being Marshall.
What was his time?
I don't remember.
All right, let's look.
I remember everybody talking about it. Yeah, pull it up.
Yeah, because you didn't know that Tyler beat his indoor
No.
record the
No.
other day. That was kind of big news.
That's
I was
awesome.
about to text Marshall, and then I thought, no, I'm not going to bug him. And then a few hours later, he's just like, I'm going to be there. Wait, I have to go to bed. I can't run it tonight. I said, yeah, word travels quickly. As soon as somebody beats your track record, you are the first person to know about it. For sure.
That's cool.
38.7. Yeah.
Wow.
So track record right now on the outdoor is 38.4. So only 0.3 off. And that's why, okay, that makes sense. Marshall gave it to me right before we started streaming, and he says I fixed my line or my braking, and that explains it. He was down into the 38s again. So
Well, that is cool. It's always good to see someone, and I've always said this about records and racing in general, is like Marshall, to a lot of people, is like the fastest one. And yeah, he's the fastest one here, but he's not unbeatable. And I love to see people continue to push the boundaries of their racing, get better and better. Tyler is a perfect example of that, of someone who showed up in the past year or so, and just runs leagues and has a lot of fun with it. I think we talked to him on the last stream about it.
But speaking of unbeatable, unofficially, Dominic D'Angelo beat the outdoor track record last night.
Really?
Yeah. So
Unofficially,
because Dom is an employee.
Ah.
Sorry, Dom. We all know in our heart that Dom has the track record holder now, or has the track record. But
Yeah. Well, you said you ran the same exact time as him?
on the indoor.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't. My times on the outdoor, not quite. I'm not in the 35s yet, so.
Gotcha. Hey, huge thank you to Withercrafter89 for the $5 donation. Heard about our channel while he was in here. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to try and put something together for you guys where if you contribute to the stream, it does go right back into the stream. I wish it went into our pockets, but you know what? We're not a multi-millionaire YouTube channel, so it doesn't do that, so it goes right back into the stream. So I want to put something together where people that donate, we get like special content and stuff like that, but we're a little bit of ways from that, but every dollar counts, so thank you so much for that.
Thank you for that awesome support of the channel. We appreciate that. I'm trying to get my graphic up on the screen, and it's not working. As soon as I get that, hopefully we put it up there for you.
Yeah, anytime you donate, you will get your comment on the stream. I think we can say that probably pretty safely.
Otherwise, for some reason, we're waiting for car numbers to be assigned. I'm not sure why we're waiting so long, but
Yeah, it looks like they're doing that now.
there's the thing. Oh, wait, we have Adam. One moment here.
Cool, minor programming note, but we got that figured out.
All right,
Too much fun.
back to the comments.
Regularly scheduled programming here.
Free Willy Goss said he should be in the top 15 at least.
Yeah. That's true.
I also noticed Alex was here. Alex is going to run. Oh, is he not going to run GP? Shoot. All right. I thought Alex was here to run GP because he had been in our teen league, and I thought, oh, he's graduating up to GP, but that must just been for arrive and drive.
Cool.
All right.
Do you know how many people, so notable people that transition between the leagues? That's something I've really wanted to track, but I keep forgetting until this very second when we're on stream talking about it. But the transition of the people between the leagues, so from juniors to teens, teens to adults, that's kind of a cool story in and of itself. I'd like to dig into a little bit more of the teens and juniors that do.
You mean just the drivers who do, or just like how they do it?
Both, I guess, is getting to know them a little bit of how and why they continue to do it, and that kind of stuff. But maybe notably the ones that do it from time to time. I don't know who transitions from year to year. I know Savannah just turned 18, I think.
Yeah. So she's not running GP. She ran teen last year. So I don't know if that maybe doesn't count as her graduating, unless she runs the women's GP tonight, which we might do.
Yeah, I heard she is.
The only other one that we've had, because we've only been open for 2 years, this location, has been Giovanni.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But Giovanni hasn't moved to the teen league. He moved over to endurance.
Oh, that dang endurance series.
Yeah, I know, stealing people from the teen league.
Oh, bummer.
If you are 58 inches tall or above, under the age of 18, you can run the teen league. That's going to come up on Tuesday. So if you're watching now and you're of that age and that height, basically you're tall enough to drive the adults, but you're young enough to be under the age of 18, you're not an adult yet, come on Tuesday. That competition is amazing. And the teens have done an amazing job at not only building their community of drivers, group texts and racing together and all this kind of stuff, but they are extremely competitive. Now, when I say that, I don't want that to scare anybody away, because we've always said over and over again, it's always worth saying, if you're not competitive yet, come to a league. We'll help you be competitive.
Yep. Everybody here wants everybody to drive faster. It's always fun when it's more fun when you drive fast, and all of us started somewhere with it. And every single person down there on track, plus us too, plus anybody that you meet here, is more than willing to give you the secrets of, which kart is the fastest, James?
None of them.
Right, they're all fast. So.
I had to think about which. I'm so used to the question of which one's the fast kart.
Yeah.
They're all fast karts.
It's true. And, but it's how to get around the track. We'll take you out for a lap or two, show you a good line, and we all want you to get faster. And that's what's really cool about the leagues here. You meet a lot of good friends.
We've got a new shot for you we're going to try out tonight, and that is the foot pedals.
And this, judging by the shoes, is Armand. So this is a good one.
This will be a good one to watch.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to him. We're also going to have an onboard with Marshall, and we're also going to have an onboard with Rachel.
Yeah. And the most exciting thing about these onboards is I hadn't been here in a week or two because I've been busy working.
Yes.
So slowly getting back into it. But guess what?
We're going to see if it works tonight.
Yes.
If it cuts out, just forget what I said.
We are trying to perfect the onboard footage, and James has been putting in a ton of work with Ability Business.
I have to put it over to Wes as always. Wes is the guy that worked on our telemetry for batteries, and he's been working tirelessly to find a solution for us to get these cameras working. So we're going to see what happens.
Yeah, let's jump on board. I want to see what happens.
Let's just follow Rachel first, because let's see even if it follows outdoors. This is the biggest challenge. It's like, can you go inside and outside without it dropping? And this is like what we've been testing for weeks and weeks.
This looks good.
It does.
So far, I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah. Now, rounding the corner, that usually picks up a lot of interference. No dropouts. All right. Can we make it all the way to turn 1? Gets a little bit weaker signal there. But it made it.
Much improved.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, my God. James, good job.
That's
is
awesome.
fantastic.
So we'll follow those onboards throughout the night tonight, and let's see if we got everything straightened out. Wes had some terrific recommendations for us and ideas. Because GP is a lot of just qualifying and lap times and stuff, so really we're going to fill time with like analyzing drivers' lines, watching them on the pedals, all that little stuff, and we're really not going to have a lot of position-based stuff to talk about until we get to the end of the night. So.
Exactly. Everybody kind of creates their own space and goes for it, but I think the onboard with Armand's feet is going to be a definite comparison shot, and then someday we'll be able to loop in like the overhead with that side-by-side of the feet, which would be really cool, but it's slow steps, and it looks fantastic so far.
Yeah, we're pretty close to getting the footage in sync. So I thought about doing it tonight, but I was like, the foot pedal's going to be about a second and a half off. So, all right, I'm waiting for Armand to come to the start-finish line, so you're going to be able to tell what turns he's in. We're going to follow Rachel here for the moment, as we see Marshall already setting his 39.3 lap time. All right, let's follow along. All right, Armand to the front straightaway. I know it's tough to see, but you can see in the background the barriers. There's turn 1. There's your lift and braking zone. Now we're into 2. Lift into 2. Turn left. Another lift into 3, but it's quick. Now in the kink in 4. Is he going to? He does. He does lift in 4. Onto the straightaway, onto the outdoor. You can see the sunset. Kind of cloudy day today. Flat out through the corners. Holding it. Letting off, braking easily through the S's. Hold that left-hand side as you go through the garage doors. And then lift. And, a quick break in the indoor turn 6 and around the carousel.
I've heard drivers talking about that, how they're starting to use the brake just a little bit in that turn to square the cart up better.
Camera 1, let's follow Armand around as he goes through turn 4 over there. Or we'll follow him outside. Here he comes. There's David. There's Armand. So this is where he was flat out. And then he does the quick brake. The trickiest part of the outdoor section right there is how you brake and then how you hold the left-hand side to run back inside. Everybody except for Tyler in the 39 so far as Rachel jumps up to the top with a 39.0, almost breaking into the 38s.
Armand, David, Marshall dropped down, but I think Marshall's taking one of those slow laps just to get a little bit of traffic out of the way.
Here they come. Let's follow David on the outdoor. Currently, David sitting in your number 4 position in the number 17 machine. Recognize him with the silver helmet and zoom in on him as he rounds through the carousel for us. Let's zoom in on David as he comes to the front straightaway. And completes that lap of a 39.163. His best, but very close times.
Yeah, moves him to 3rd place. Marshall with that lap where he took a lap off with a 39.1, so not bad. Marshall's going to be one of those ones that I think people are going to be very curious about with the pedal shot to see how he drives around the track being the fastest one. Even Armand's very smooth, so this is a really good angle for those who are learning how to drive this track and you're still smashing the gas pedal and smashing the brake pedal. This is more along the lines of what you're looking for. Very, very smooth foot movement through this entire race.
And the other thing is that you're seeing very little brake and a lot of throttle lifting.
Yeah, I was going to comment. If you watch when he does brake, it's an extraordinarily smooth input. It's not a slamming of the foot into the brake pedal. Very confident.
We're going to see Marshall on his lap coming through as he just went purple, so now he's on top of Rachel in the first 38.9.
Moves him up to 1st place. That's good.
He and Rachel always battling it out for those top spots. Look at the middle of the track there when he comes through the S's and exits in mid-track, but then holds the left-hand side.
and every single person in this qualifier in a 39, down to a 39.5 for Nate Gross. So PJ, Nate, Tyler, Armand, David, Rachel, everybody except for Marshall, who was in a 38.
Yep, and he just improved again, 38.83.
Wow.
Well, his warm-up lap was a 38.7, so he's only a tenth off. But will he be able to drive it any lower than that? There's our onboard, our outside shot as he rounds indoor, and the white flag is going to fly. Now, I mentioned the 9 laps. Typically, you're running 16 for a GP series, but because we have the extended track length, that's why we're only running 9. Basically, it's a standard race, which is 8 plus 1, and that gives you your GP setup.
Awesome. And for tonight's final, are we running 1 heat or 2?
Ooh, good question.
I think 1 would be awesome, especially because we have the space to do it here. I don't think all K1s would be able to do that.
No.
I've been to a bunch of them, and
No, because
tighter tracks.
when we're on the indoor, like 10 is a lot.
yeah.
Although we did run the endurance race with 14.
Yep, 14. That was a cool race. There was a lot going on, but again, to get into those leagues, you've got to get here and practice in leagues like GP, and then sign up as a rookie in the or amateur rookie status in the endurance series. Get your practice in these leagues, and then get bumped up into the pro leagues that we have.
Yeah, because if you like doing 9 laps now,
how about 70?
yeah, 70 indoors, about 35 outdoor.
Yeah, especially now with the pro endurance that we have, it's a lot of racing, and the guys and girls coming off the track from the first ever pro endurance race that we had, there was a lot of feedback that even our experienced drivers were like, wow, that was a long race.
Yeah, I bet. I thought it was a long race, and I was just watching. So there's your time to beat so far, 38.839 up there by Marshall. The next best is in, well, Rachel in the 38s as well. They're the only 2 drivers in the 38s. Everybody else, 39, 0, 1, 1, 3, and 4 are the tenths of a second down there. Close competition for sure.
All right, whose feet are we going to see next?
Oh, who will we find?
I don't know.
I think they're going to go.
I know Katie's getting
They're going to go to
GoPro.
Katie.
No,
not Katie.
Okay.
Is that Jonathan and
Jim Jones.
Jim Johns.
Jim Johns, yeah.
Will Goss. How about Will Goss? We'll do Will. No?
No? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
All
there
right.
you go. All right.
We willed it into existence. Here we go.
Our track guys are listening to us.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Will's got a pretty good following on YouTube, too. I always like to give him a shout-out because he's he likes to put his videos on and tag us and that. So thanks, Will. Appreciate that. Younger driver. Really nice guy. Really, really nice guy.
How about this? If you're following a driver that you know, go ahead and hit a like on our video.
Definitely.
So if you're following Marshall, make sure you hit that like button. If you're following Katie, make sure you hit that like button. If you're following PJ, hit like twice. Oh, no, that'll unlike. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait,
You don't want to do that. Oops. I didn't mean that as an offense, PJ. I just meant like.
He wanted 2 thumbs up.
See, a couple GPs ago, I got his track time wrong. I said it was a couple tenths slower. Sorry. Now I unattendedly offended him.
That's okay. Yeah, they're, I don't know. Talking to them is just always so fun. They love racing here. Katie, PJ, and Tyler's gotten really good. He's just put in a lot of work, and he's done really well at it. I mean, I can't even say a lot of work, though.
I was going to say,
yeah.
it's come pretty naturally to him, which is cool. I mean, he's run a good amount of races.
Yeah, but something that family never really did, and that's why I'm trying to.
Oh yeah.
To those viewers out there, come in and try it. You never know. You could be like them, where you just after a couple races, couple series, you pick it up really quickly, naturally, and you become a very competitive driver. And for some of us, it takes a little bit longer. You're not a natural. You got to work at it, but it is a ton of fun either way. They have just had so much fun in all these series that they run.
Tyler has run 74 races here at Canton.
That's it?
Yeah. Compare that to Marshall Miller, who has completed, finished his 1,000 mark. He's completed 1,026 races here at K1 Speed Canton.
Welcome to 1,000 Club, Marshall.
Yeah. Awesome job.
So,
Big thanks to the Podium Pass.
yeah.
If you're
Right.
if you're new to K1 Speed Canton, make sure you check out the Podium Pass. That allows you to race on a subscription basis, 5 races a month for $50. So if you're used to racing and you know how expensive it gets, it's a lot cheaper here. Come practice with us.
And we have something called the 50 race challenge that can be purchased through you as well. So
Yeah, you buy the 50 races and then go kill yourself.
it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Yeah, by the end of it, you do feel real miserable.
Yeah.
But it's fun. You get your name on a big trophy we have here, and we send you a trophy, and it's a lot of fun. So we invite other locations to compete in the 50 race challenge. So definitely take that back to your K1 spot and say, hey, I want to run the 50 race. And if they don't know what it is, have them call us.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's follow along with the foot pedals of Will Goss as he goes across the start-finish line. Front straightaway, right there. There's your lift into 1. We're actually getting a little bit of rotation action on the GoPro because it thinks it's zooming for us. That's cool.
Right.
All right, through 4. Now foot on the throttle as he follows the outdoor section. Nope, sorry. Now we're into turn 4.
Yep.
Now we're into the outdoors.
You noticed a little bit of brake pad that he had into 4.
A little bit. Holding that throttle. I'm going to maybe touch on this tonight about the throttle. This is one of the reasons I wanted this shot. So remind me, I have a comment about the throttle.
Okay.
All right, so I don't forget. Through the bump, into the indoor, he's going to lose a little bit of brake, into the carousel, hold the throttle all the way down. A lot of drivers adding a lift to their routine of the carousel, but back to the front straightaway and down through turn 1.
This is a great shot to see between the different drivers how they're going to navigate the track. And then when they go back, Trent jumping into a 39 already. Good job, Trent.
Wow.
39.8.
Good job, Trent.
Yeah, but the drivers being able to go back and see the footwork between different drivers, I think will be a lot of fun for them.
Easy on the brake there. He did like a little double push just to maybe add a little bit of brake as he slowed through the outdoor section, the outdoor S's. And hammers it down. You want to make sure that pedal is all the way down. I guess since we're here, I'll go ahead and make that comment. All right, so you see the linkage down there and you see a spring. Yeah, thanks. He wrote it down for me. I can almost point to it.
Yeah, it's like
Anyway.
Yeah, there. Wait,
There's
here.
a sensor in there. I'm going to point to it as if you know what I'm pointing to. But there's a sensor in there that tells the car how much the throttle is being pushed down. Well, interesting experiment over the last couple weeks as we got the new batteries and I was testing voltages and everything. The pedal has a little bit of flex to it. So see how his foot's kind of to the right-hand side of the pedal?
Mhm.
If he pushes it to the left-hand side of the pedal,
Mhm.
it'll push that throttle just a little bit further.
So this was a little-known thing that many racers had talked about for a while, so it's been confirmed.
It's confirmed.
Wow. Okay, because this was like the what is that? The invisible stuff that people talk about all the time. That
Conspiracies?
Conspiracy, yeah. And people swore by it. So, okay,
Yeah.
so that is true.
It does. In fact, right now at full throttle, this car is going to register about 4 volts on that throttle wiper. So you start in the neutral position, that is 0.5, and then as you push forward, it goes to 4 volts. Okay. So yeah, what we're talking about is if you kind of move, if you shift your foot to the left a little bit, you can register 0.1, 0.05 extra volts, and when the car is programmed to like full throttle equals 4 volts. You have to make sure you're giving it 4 volts. Otherwise, you're sitting at 3.95 or 3.90, and the car doesn't give you full power.
So when in doubt, push the pedal all the way down.
Yeah, and kind of roll the ball of your foot to the left. That helps because that's where the side of the mechanism is.
That makes a lot of sense.
There's your pro tip for the day for watching the live stream at GP.
There you go.
All right, who are we following along with? There's Trent. There's your leader. He's doing a 39.5 so far, his best time. He's definitely going to slot in there with that first group. Doing a great job.
Yeah, everybody in or near the 39s in this group as well. Only 340s so
Let's
far.
follow him through the carousel as he rounds. Back down the back, Alex. Zoom in on him. And there we go. Thank you. Kind of running wide in turn 1. Holding it nice and tight in 3. And then there's that lift into 4 as he's going to exit into the outdoor. I know we got the police car sitting outside again today.
Again. Thanks, David.
Yeah. I don't say that begrudgingly. I mean, like,
Thank you.
kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
You were following the number 28 there of Trent. Yeah. The blue helmet. 39.5. He's going to best himself. 39.5 is currently slotting him in the 5th position based on the previous heat.
I was going to say the previous heat had all 39, so
yeah,
sneaking in there.
Remember that everybody's going to have a second shot at this. So, yeah, Tyler last round was a 39.6, so he was in the 6th spot so far. That should bring out the white flag.
There it is.
As he will best it again at 39.4.
Wow, good lap. Does that bump him up at all in the...
Dropping the time. It does not. No, David is a 39.37. So a 3.94 doesn't move him in that regard. But actually, we still got one more lap to go.
So to get into that 3rd spot, you have to beat a 39.313.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the whole first 3 is separated by 3/10. So
Exactly the question of which kart is the fast one, James. They're all fast.
yep, they're all fast. He doesn't improve, but that's really close. A 4.22 versus a 4.07. So
That tells me that that kid has a very good grasp on the track, and he's just working out a couple of things. If you can run times that close throughout, you've got a really good line. You're just trying to negotiate the finer points, I guess.
absolutely. Katie in the number 16, 39.7. I'll bet she's happy with that one.
Absolutely.
Only 2 people at the bottom here in the 40 seconds. Otherwise, Jim Johns, Katie, Jonathan, Will, and Trent all finishing in with 39.x lap times. That's close.
Yeah. All these lap times being so close, if they run a single heat final, it's going to be really interesting to see how, just knowing how some of these drivers drive in finals, it'll be really interesting to see where they work out throughout the field. Here is a great test. Here you can see how fast they are for their time, and then put them in a situation where they have to compete for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd by passing. It'll be interesting to see the movement, especially with PJ at a 39.7, Katie at a 39.7 as well. That puts them 6th, 7th-ish area.
Yeah, those are great times
Yeah.
for them. I don't know if I can quickly find some of their outdoor times, but I'm pretty sure some of their other ones were in the 40s, but they took tips from Tyler, I bet.
Yeah. It's a lot of times you see these drivers talking to each other in between heats and after the races, and they're all comparing little bits of stuff to help improve each other's times, and especially Marshall. Marshall's always saying what he's doing, but there's some secret sauce that he's just got that people are finding it hard to keep up with.
I mean, some of the last times that Katie and PJ have on their records were from when we first reopened the outdoor, and it was super slick, and the concrete didn't have a lot of rubber in it, and they were running 40-second lap times. So they dropped some tenths off that for sure.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us, welcome to Competition Karting. I'm James. This is Jason. You're watching GP. It's the first Sunday of the month. We do this on the first Sunday. Then we do the endurance round on the 3rd Sunday of the month. Feel free to drop us a comment or a message so that we can interact with you guys. We got a lot of downtime tonight. Hopefully we'll have some drivers up here. We can have them talk to us while we're watching people do lap times.
Definitely. Yeah, and the 2nd Sunday of the month now, June 10th, we'll be running the Pro Endurance. So check
true.
that out in
Yes.
between.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to leave that one out there, but
No, I love it. We've created these leagues to really kind of benefit the drivers that want to come and race in a more competitive way, hence competition karting. But it's lots of fun to these drivers. We asked them, the pro level drivers that are running the endurance series and the pro endurance series, which plays into the 12 hours, that is this too much? And they're like, no, we love having the different leagues to run here. It's a lot of fun.
that surprised me.
It honestly did me too.
I mean, we don't want to burn our drivers out, but if they're enjoying it, fantastic.
Love it. And it seems to be, this is something you don't get at really any other indoor karting location, is the endurance side of it. GPs, yeah, any K1 can run a GP, and it's a lot of fun. We have some really good competitors here that have a really good chance of getting in to the Worlds this year at the Nationals that they'll be going to this year. We had some good drivers last year. We swept the B main, which was great. But it's endurance is kind of the growing thing. I think it's a trend that we're seeing. It's awesome. It's so good to see.
Drop the camera over there too, in the white shirt with Marshall and Trent. Oh, I thought he was going to be talking about the racing line. Yeah. I'm sure they're talking about the racing line, but
yeah, we're too far away to get the
Yeah.
nitty gritty. I should have left the microphone over there.
yeah. Adam, where's that microphone?
It's over on the right by the starting gate.
Adam, can you go grab the microphone for us so we can talk to one of the drivers just got off the track?
Yeah, hand them a mic and give them your headset. Hand them the mic, and we'll see some natural interaction here.
Yeah.
This is kind of cool.
Grab Trent. He's in the gray sweatshirt, obviously.
Checking.
I was going.
Yep.
Yep, you're good. The other comment I was going to make real quick, you said everybody can do a GP. GP is a great format because it's standardized across the whole country.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get to national levels, you get to, rub elbows with people who are doing the same thing as
They're
you.
gonna talk
Yep.
to you and ask you questions. You just talk into that mic and answer them. Okay.
Hey, Trent.
What's up?
How's it going?
Yeah, just look over here at the camera for us and then talk real
Hello.
close to the microphone.
Okay.
There you go.
Hey, so we saw you jump into the 39s there early on, and then you kept dropping. What's your secret sauce here?
I don't. There's not really a secret sauce. It's just after lap. It took up to about lap 3, and I found out where I was losing time in the S's on the outside, and I made up time. And I can't lie, that's a pretty good card I had there.
So you saw some of the other people in your heat running 39s as well. Do you feel like if you get bumped into that A main, you're going to be able to withstand the pressure?
I think I'll be able to hold the pressure and be okay. But I also, part of me is like, a lot of these usual A riders are very good. You got Marshall and Rachel and Armand, which are top 3 all the time. So.
And you can tell you come from a motocross background because you called them riders, right?
And
Yeah.
High Point.
Tell us a little bit about motocross. What are you used to driving instead of 4 wheels?
I used to race 125, so I mean it's a step down from what pros race, and 250s and the 450 classes. But I mean, it upholds the same challenges mentally, not physically, but definitely mentally. Of like, if you're doing a little rough and you got to keep up, you don't let it get to you, and you just do your best at all times. And clearly it pays off.
Yeah, racing is racing, right? So
100%,
Yeah.
and it pays off a lot of the times too when you just keep up.
Well, we'll let you go to your second qualify here in a little bit. Good luck, and let's see if you can drop down that time even more.
All right, I will not disappoint.
All right. That was Trent. He was on the top of your leaderboard for the last qualifier. As we get ready to send the other group back out for their second qualifier.
Yep.
I like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. I thought it would be a cool dynamic when you told me. I was like, and then I thought about it. I'm like, that's kind of cool on the stream to be able to just converse with the person directly up here.
Yeah. Let us know in the chat, too, if you guys could hear him okay. It looked like our levels were okay, but he might have been a little soft. Let us know if it was okay.
I'm still super pumped that these GoPros are actually... Oh, wait. Is that... I can tell by the shoes. I'm kind of a shoe guy. Is that going to be... No, it's not. I thought it was Marshall for a second.
Oh, no. This one's definitely... It is Marshall.
It is.
Yeah.
He didn't wear his racing shoes, but I know he's a Nike Air fan, and I was like, I thought... Okay, so I'm a shoe guy, so this is great.
Yeah.
I'm judging everyone on their shoes tonight.
Well, he just exited outdoor. I'd have to keep giving you references because I don't know if everybody can tell exactly where they are on the track, so... Sorry if that's annoying. But
No, I think it actually helps.
Okay.
Like if you're not super familiar with the track, and then when we talk about the turns more and more, you can probably piece it together a little better. Track overlay would be awesome.
Yeah, real-time GPS.
Well, not even just layout of the track with the turns numbered on it.
Yeah. This is turn 1 right here. This is his first flying lap. Into turn 2. Another lift and hold. Ooh, a double press on 3.
Is he gonna do it bad on purpose because he doesn't want to give away his footwork?
I doubt it.
No, he's not gonna do that.
He doesn't usually.
No.
He's always in the mood to help somebody out. That's what
Yes,
we love
he is.
about his racing. And we say that about all of our drivers, too. Jonathan Douglas says you hear us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jonathan, you're next. Hop over to the mic. We want to hear from you, too. Or you can come up in the booth, too. Either one.
Marshall immediately with a 39.3, so yeah, he's not holding anything back.
Yeah. So that footwork you just watched, that was a 39-second lap time. After he gets the tires warmed up, we'll see if he bounces into the 38s at all. Over the bump, out through the garage doors. Long right-hander. There's the double S's. There's the braking zone.
Let's see if he
Full
does
throttle.
that same kind of brake into the carousel that Armand did.
He does. It's actually
Yeah.
quite a bit of braking.
A lot more.
Yeah. And then another lift out of the carousel
Mhm.
and back to the front straightaway. We'll follow him overhead here. And watch for Marshall as he comes through turn 4.
David Ponce jumping up to number 1, 39.041.
There's Jonathan. Do you want to interview him or do you want me to?
Either way, doesn't matter.
Okay.
I mean, go for it. You've been on a roll tonight. Usually I do it, so yeah, go for it.
We'll follow along with Marshall.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
All right, so in the booth, we got Jonathan Douglas. Did you hear me comment that I finally got rid of the 2 S's? You'll hear a lot of yourself in your headset.
okay.
That's
Okay,
fine.
cool.
Go ahead and put it nice and close.
Awesome.
That way that everybody can hear you.
Yeah, I'm out of breath too. I don't want to, have you listening to that.
Well,
But no, that's cool. Yeah.
we'll sit here for a second.
Thanks for having me. That was a really, really sick setup.
Cool. Well, glad to have you here.
I think everybody says that though. It's the first thing.
Well, hopefully. All right, so you were third in that last round. And really, were you surprised?
Yeah, I mean,
you
came
did a
in,
39.6.
but I just came in and ran 2 practice races, and I didn't break under 40. So
Oh.
I guess the practice was great.
Yeah.
I just haven't ran enough outdoor.
Well, we talk about the proximity to other drivers. Were you able to follow and chase somebody?
Yeah, it's always great to see the reference of the person in front of you. A lot of times you naturally want to take their line, but sometimes you just take it slightly different and you get an idea whether or not you can improve in each corner you take.
Well, you definitely don't want to take somebody's line who is not going fast.
Of course, yeah, when you're out there, you get an eye for who to follow for sure.
Yeah.
I'm still in the stage where I'm letting people pass me all the time because I'm assuming if they're bumping me, I'm learning something from them. So I kind of need to get out of it and get into the more competitive side of it and just make them work for it, really.
Yeah,
I think that'll help me, especially in some of these other races like the endurances. I know towards the end, I mean, when you're running the first half of it, you kind of want to let them do their thing, but
Or especially
when
the
it comes-
qualifiers. You're running
Yeah.
qualifiers here, and if somebody's bumping you from behind, it's not going to hurt you to pull off and let them by. But
Yeah, absolutely. It'll psych you out. Next
Yeah.
thing you know, you're making too many mistakes. And so, for sure. I was hoping it was going to rain today, to be honest. I was trying to get on the indoor.
to
but
get the indoor?
Yeah.
I was going to mention, you're following on board with Tyler Covell, by the way, the number 32. I was going to mention to the drivers that even if it sprinkles a little bit, we're going to keep everything running as much as possible. So I don't think there's any rain in the forecast. They took it out, but I checked the weather this morning, and they temporarily had showers at 6 o'clock p.m., and we are now 7 o'clock p.m., so I think we missed the window, but
Yeah, that's.
sometimes a wet, drying track is fun.
I've never experienced these karts in the rain yet, so I'm very curious to see how that turns out. It might be a disaster for me, but yeah, is it?
Yeah, we don't run them in the full wets, just so you guys know. Sometimes with boost night, we will run special wet track situations, and if it sprinkles with leagues and stuff, we'll let those run. But if you're general drive and drive, we don't run in the ret. So slick tires, they just don't mix. So what do you think about this shot? Have you seen the onboard with Marshall yet?
I was actually just looking at it. I got to go home and rewatch all of this. I think this is a really sick change-up you got going on because I always go home and rewatch and study like every shot I can from every driver just to see what I'm doing different. And then I was just talking to somebody in the front wondering how many races it's going to take before I finally win one. Unfortunately, almost all of the 100 races I've ran here were all the indoors. So and every time we come out for the GP or the endurance, it seems like it's you throw a little change up, as people love to call them curveballs.
Just when you think you're getting one track down, I like to switch it.
Yeah, I spent way too much time in winter here. It's time to get it back going now that you have the new layouts.
You're following along the number 3 of David Pons, who is the top of the leaderboard right now. The last lap before the one he was on was his 38.7. We're going to follow him inside and see what he picks up on this lap, which will be lap number 9 of the second qualifier.
And these sub 39s, they amaze me. I remember
David does best it with a 38.72. Let's see if anybody else has got anything for him at the timing line. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're totally cool. I'm actually taken aback by all this. I don't think I'm the greatest commentator by any means.
No, that's
but
okay. We're building your fan base. Root for Jonathan.
Hope you enjoy the shit show for sure.
And on that note, he's going to head down to his qualifier.
All right.
But
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks. But David Pons, 38.728 does best. Marshall Miller, his 38.839. That is preliminarily going to put David Pons on the pole position.
Ooh.
Marshall's best time, again, 39.839. I'm sorry, I keep saying the wrong. 38.839. David, on his last lap, 38.728.
Again in this heat, though, everybody in the 39s. That's awesome.
Those are great times. I don't know if we've seen that on a GP before.
Not in a while. Not in a long while.
I'm surprised David didn't jump out of the cart and
Wave.
fist bump. Yeah, wave. He is the guy who waves.
I mean, we're splitting hairs in the 38s now. That's awesome.
Adam, can you see if we can grab him on the mic? Yeah. And if you're rooting for David, make sure you click a thumbs up.
Oh, they want to talk to me. Well, hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi, David.
What's up?
Hey, congratulations.
Oh, I knew I could do it. Just had to try hard enough.
He said humbly. You can go and look up at the camera here.
I know, I was getting in position.
Oh, okay. Did they put like an X on the ground for you?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
How about this?
Perfect. All right, so you got the Hot Rod Patrol outside.
Yes, sir.
Is it your good luck charm?
Maybe a distraction.
You just kind of stare at it as you go by?
Yeah, maybe a distraction. Maybe
Oh.
I'll turn the lights on during the final again. That
Okay.
didn't seem to work last time, but you never know.
Yeah, if that's your good luck charm, then yeah, turn the lights on and.
No, I can't say it's a good luck charm. I just say that I've been waiting to run it. I've been waiting to run a 38, and tonight was the night to do it.
How did it feel? Did you feel like you ran a 38 when you ran it?
Oh yeah, it was very smooth. I felt like I actually knew what I was doing for once. The only place I was really struggling was number 2. If you play it back, I'm definitely hopping there, but keep that under control. Keep everything smooth.
Were you able to?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm being directed.
Yeah, you're you're divine. We took the overlay off so we can see your full face now.
Sick.
Were you able to hop the corner through that turn 3 and still make that lap time? Is that what you're saying?
No, I was hopping in 2.
Oh,
Actually, I was
okay.
hopping in both carts I had today in number 2, but no, that's mostly driver error, not cart or anything. Just that was me.
Oh, I would never blame the cart.
No. It's not the cart's fault. It's my fault. I'm bad at racing.
Clearly.
Looked pretty good from our standpoint. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the big key, obviously, is outdoor. Obviously, the S in the outdoor, if you get the braking zones right and you try and keep as much speed through there as possible, that's the best way to do it. And then trying to cut the corner before the carousel and still be able to hook the carousel with as much velocity as you can. Those are really the tricks. If you don't, and number 4, obviously, because number 4 is number 4.
Something we've pointed out that because we have a view of footwork tonight, so we've
super
got.
weird that I can't see you guys.
I know,
I'm
right?
just saying.
We're on board looking at people's
Yeah.
feet. Do you brake before the carousel?
You're on board looking at people's feet.
We are. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
Yes.
I couldn't leave that one alone.
Yep. Direct shot.
Hey, Marshall, how did you feel about not running a 38 that time?
I did run a 38 that time.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No,
38.
39.0.
No, I got a 38.
I watched it.
Got a
I was there.
See? 38.
he ran a.
He doesn't know what he's talking
He
about.
ran a 38.97.
38.97,
I got
Roger.
a 38. But,
Man.
How do I feel about that second quali? Iffy. I'm
David, can you put it right
irritated with
next to his
myself
face?
and learning that
There you
cart
go.
because
Stick it in his ear if you want me to.
okay. Just that cart 29, everybody runs fast in it, and I can't get used to it. And I think it's just the brakes, but good quality though.
James wants to know if you think that's because you're bad at driving 29 or if it's 29.
It's
Watch what you say.
I know it is me. It is. I'm gonna put it on myself because it is. I can't get used to the brakes in that
I
car.
love this.
I was
We
just
don't have
telling
to do the
them. I was just telling them I was having trouble with 2, and it's because I'm just not. I was hopping through 2 through both qualifiers, and it's because I was taking the corner wrong. I was starting in the wrong place,
And going too fast.
and most likely going too fast. Yeah, you slow down to get the hopping to stop. Obviously.
Because that happens to me, and when it hops, next lap I'll let off and slow down more than I did last lap, and it hop takes away. But other
Thank
than
you.
that, good qualifier between you
Good
and
answer.
I.
Thank you.
James says walk away.
Oh, okay.
You're not on cue. Walk. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Well, thanks for the interview.
You guys might want to watch the racing. Yeah. These guys are really fun to watch. So I'm getting the wrap it up sign. So you better go look at whoever's on the feet cam. You better go look at them.
I don't know who we're on board with, but right now we're on board with what is this? The number 20, a Trent Teeterhoff. So the pole sitter last time in B main.
The top result guy we just
Yeah.
talked to on the sidelines. Yeah. Oh boy, we're talking. Okay, I thought David was still talking.
No, you're good. You're good.
We'll make sure that mic is not open anymore.
We left it by the track on purpose just to get track noises. But.
Perfect.
So Jonathan Douglas, first lap, 40.4. So everybody probably in the 40s, 41s for their first lap, but they'll get warmed up on track here.
All right, I don't know who has the red shoes.
Oh, and they're laced up racing shoes, so I don't know, honestly. But we'll get that information in half a second because we are on board with them. Going to take you for a lap around. In this heat, we don't have any of the main runners except Trent. So let's see who this is, and we can compare their footwork to what we already watched.
I'm told it's Jim Johns.
Jim Johns, okay. Jim Johns was running, I believe, 5th or 6th in his last qualifier. Let's see. This is turn 2 into turn 3. Pretty smooth. Little break into turn 4. That's a lot of break into turn 4. So that was more break than we saw out of the other drivers we saw. Coming outdoors here. Into the S's. Lots of brake there. And hard acceleration through it. You can see his foot bouncing on and off that brake pedal a little bit. He's someone that I've noticed, if you see his foot bouncing on that brake pedal, he is someone that rests their foot. I have drop foot, so my foot does the exact same thing where I catch myself, and that will slow the cart down. Even just a little bit of brake input gives the brake pads more friction, which causes the cart to run a little bit slower. And as I say that, Katie jumps up to a 39.7. Good job, Katie. On board with Katie here. I'm still amazed by these GoPros. I want to go on board as much as we can. I love it.
Yeah, thanks for filling in while I was getting the lower thirds for us.
You're good.
Yeah, 39.7 already out of Katie. That's fantastic. She's going to say it's the cart. You watch.
Is she?
Nothing to do with her skill or anything.
No.
Who is our third driver? GoPro 3
is...
Oh, we were already
Trent.
on with Trent.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so if you guys watch that back and compare it to the other drivers we already saw tonight, there's a few tips already in that. Just foot placement while you're driving. Sometimes I've actually seen Rachel and Marshall both do it, where they take their feet all the way off the pedal, all the way out of the pedal area, and rest it on that black bar of the frame when they're driving around in the Endurance. Because in the Endurance, you don't want to brake as much as possible, just conserving cart battery, and they'll coast around the turns very intentionally. And they do that just to rest their foot, I am told.
Trent is aiming for a 39.4. That's the number he's trying to improve upon.
39.7 for Katie seems like where she was in the last qualifier.
She did. She landed a 39.74 as well.
So she's improved by a little bit, but not much.
Yeah, 7.1 to 7.4. I guess. Charlie in the chat says, what I would give to have a K1 in Cincinnati, Ohio. Yeah, we'd love to have one in Cincinnati, Ohio as well.
Me too.
Maybe someday. Maybe someday.
If you ever can, definitely make it up here. It's certainly one of the best K1s I've ever been to.
I'll figure out where Jim Johns is going around the track here. This is turn 2 into turn 3. He holds the throttle into turn 3. And not to be overcritical, but I think you'd want to lift off. I think that overdrives the car a little bit. And that's okay. I can mention it in the live stream because I think I mentioned it to him the other day. So, But Jim comes from a gas karting world where he's very good, and he's very used to momentum driving and following the track all the way through the corners, all that kind of stuff. And it's just a different discipline. In fact, the comment he made the other day was, I can't do a race in gas karts and then come to GP on the same day. It just messes with my head.
Yep.
As he rounds the front straightaway full throttle. Great shot from that. Switch back on board with Katie, who hasn't bested her 39.7 just yet, but Trent has come up right next to her, as well as William Goss. Look how close those times are. The 7.18, the 7.38, and the 7.95. It is the group of 39.7s tonight in the B group.
Yeah, lots of them in the A main, too.
And we will push these times together, so with these teams... Oh, William Goss, 39.5 on the next to last lap, jumping to the top of that leaderboard.
Charlie said that he actually has raced here with William Goss before, and it's a long drive. But definitely, then, if it's a really long drive, we have people that come in from all over the country for the big events we do, like the 12 Hours of Canton, and soon to be the 6 Hours Twilight, and also the Exhibition of Speed. So those are the big ones to come to. Worth the drive.
Zach, let's follow that group that's coming out, because that's our last group of drivers. They're all following Jonathan Douglas. You got Katie in the blue shirt behind, and... also, Jim Johns right behind her.
Lots of traffic.
They're all going to round. Is this their final lap? I believe this is the this is the last lap of the time. See if anybody can improve. No for Katie. No for anybody. No, nobody jumps up.
Yep.
So William Goss laying down the heat, 39.545 in that round.
When you get into traffic like that, it's really tough to put down a good lap.
Yeah. Very similar time in the very first round for William. He did a 39.643. So I think it speaks for kart consistency. If I can just throw that in there. The lithium batteries, of course.
Oh, the amount of work that goes into making these karts as close as they are. And if we've said it before, we've been to many different locations, and if you ever have a doubt about what we drive here, go to other karting locations. This is based on an arrive and drive facility. So there are head-on collisions into walls, people learning how to drive. I've seen people hit walls that I, as a racer, look at this track and go, I don't know how you hit that wall, but I've seen people drive straight into it. And so you've got to contend with all of that damage throughout the week to then turn these karts around into the competitive, look at the times, karts that they are now. So
we hand them over to our tamed racing drivers at the worst possible time possible, and that is at the end of a weekend.
Sunday afternoon. Perfect. That's plenty of time to turn the maintenance around. What are you talking about?
I passed Ryan, our mechanic, on the way here today, and he was hard at work all morning, working on this stuff for these drivers to enjoy this kind of event tonight. So thank you, Ryan.
Massive shout out to Ryan. He is the mechanic that's been here the longest, and really nice guy. Actually, it's his second job. He seems to enjoy it, and he has a passion for it. So it's great. And I think we've got Katie.
I think we're gonna get to talk to Katie.
Nice.
They're gonna talk into your ear and then just talk into the mic.
Heard.
All right, Katie, hi.
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 I know you can't see us, but just put that microphone really close.
Heard.
Heard?
Sorry, restaurant talk.
Oh. Put that microphone really close for us so that we can hear you on the live stream.
Got it.
All right, congratulations. We're looking at just to your right, your 39.7 lap time. You had basically the same lap time both rounds.
Yeah,
what do you
that
think?
first race was a better cart. That one had more stability.
Told you.
Yep.
I told you she was going to blame it on the cart. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's not the driver, it's the cart.
But you were very consistent. So how did you like doing the outdoor today?
I'm starting to figure out the S in the back, so I'm starting to feel more confident. Clearly, I just ran 2:39.7s today. So
Yeah. Yeah, consistency all the way down. So what do you think your chances are for the final? We haven't put all these times together. Do you think you're going to be in the A main?
I thought we were doing all one race.
Oh.
I think we are.
Oh, that's true.
Are we?
Well, then yes,
Yeah.
I will be
yeah.
an A main.
Yeah. So you are in the A main.
Yes!
So you're like mid-pack though.
Good
so
point.
like
That works. I got nowhere to go. Well, I guess I do. I can go down, but that's not an option. We're going up today.
not with you, right? You're going to
No.
defend it like.
I'm going to bring back biggest mover in this race.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. You'll vote for the biggest mover point, which we have in the endurance series, but not in GP yet.
Hey, I'm the one that made it a thing in the endurance race.
Yes,
Let's make it a thing in the
true.
GP.
Exactly. It was you starting in the back and moving up that were like, you know what, that needs rewarded. Did you know that we actually didn't have a biggest mover in the last endurance race because nobody moved up more than 3 spots?
We haven't. I feel like in the past couple of months, it's all been pretty steady. If there's any change, it's mid-pack, and it may be just 1 or 2 spots.
Yeah. I went to go tally up the points, and I was like,
Didn't need
nope,
to.
nobody moved. Like, everybody started where they finished. So,
Yeah.
anything noteworthy for the GP challenge? You gonna run the? You gonna stick around for the GP female series?
If it's a thing, we'll see.
It's a thing.
All
I
right.
think we'll make it a thing tonight, and we'll just see what happens.
Cool beans. We'll see.
Awesome. We'll see you there.
Awesome.
Thanks for being here, Katie.
No props.
So I think we've got the starting order just popped up on your other screen, I think. And she's going to be right behind William Goss, looks like.
David, Marshall, Rachel, Nate, Armand, Tyler, PJ, Trent, William Goss, Jonathan, then Katie.
Awesome. That'll be a good race.
We'll double check that to make sure the second heat got put in there correctly.
I love that we're lucky enough to run the bigger mains. Like splitting them up in the qualifying is nice because you get more track space, right? But in the mains, when you're competing for position, it always feels better as a racer, and it's a lot more fun to watch, obviously. But it feels good as a racer when there's a lot of people in there. So even if you're mid pack and you're able to maneuver mid pack your way up, you're like, well, I was 5th out of 50th instead of 5th out of 5. So it's, as a racer, it's always cool like that. But I love the big races that we do.
So at that point, we're going to take a quick break. You guys stick around. Leave us a message in the chat so we have some questions to answer for when we get back. Okay? Stick around. We'll be right back. All right. Thanks for sticking with us through that break. We've got Jason down in the pits, and I believe he's got Rachel with him. So let's bring him up and see what we got.
Absolutely. So, girl number 2 out of 3 that I know for tonight's women's penultimate women's GP thing. Inaugural, thank you. But yeah, so Rachel Hart qualifying in 3rd. Really good times on the first qualifier, second qualifier. So you're just getting used to the card a little bit. What do you think going into the main?
I'm excited for it. I hope it goes better than endurance last month for me.
Hopefully so too. Yeah, so what do you think you're going to focus on really with David and Marshall in front of you, and then Nate right behind you, Armand right behind him? What's your strategy going into this?
Try to stay on the bumpers of the guys in front of me, create a gap as much as possible, and not let everybody behind me push me around. So really just hold my line and do the best I can.
Awesome. Well, it looks like everybody's getting into their cart. Thank you for the 5 seconds, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
You got anybody down there in a seat that they can...
I got someone in a seat. Let's see who I can grab in a seat right here. Can you hit Marshall with that? Let's see. Okay.
We did talk to Marshall. We haven't talked to Armand or Tyler. Well, yeah, we did talk to Tyler at the beginning.
Can you do Armand? Is that a possible shot with that camera?
Sure.
All right. So Armand Deligny getting strapped in the cart, and camera is way over there. Twist your arm and say hi. What do you think going into this race, Armand? What is your strategy? Just talk to Rachel. She's going to stick to the bumper, the person in front of her, and keep everybody behind her, which I think is good advice. What about you?
Well, I'm hoping that Marshall and Ponce wreck each other in the first lap, so we'll take the advantage and then try to swoop in there. So that's my goal. That's the strategy.
Awesome. With Nate right in front of you, you guys had really great qualifying times in that. What are you focusing on in the final, really track-wise?
It's just going to be staying in the line. As soon as someone gets bumped out, especially with we've got 5 or 6 really fast carts, you do not want to be outside of the line. So just sticking to that line, sticking to that bumper.
Awesome. Good advice. Thanks, Armand. I appreciate it, and good luck to you.
Oh, sorry, Jason. I abandoned you for a minute. Are you still with me? We're going to do 10 laps tonight. If you're just joining us, this is the final race for the GP Series in the month of June. It's hard to believe we've already made it halfway through the year, but this series runs once a month on Sunday nights, so thanks for joining us. Make sure, if you're enjoying this, that you are subscribed to our channel so you can catch us whenever we run our live streams. And if you haven't already, hit the like button for us if you're enjoying the content as well.
Always good to get everybody's thoughts right as they go out on track.
I like that. That was pretty cool. I'm sorry.
You're
keep
good.
playing with the microphone cable. So
At least it's not me this time.
yeah, it's
like
not
stepping
you.
on
It's
ears.
just me fidgeting. That's all.
Squiggly, any news on the 6-hour race? Yes, it's. Here's your news. The 6-hour race is coming. That's what I have so far.
Checking up on Marshall Miller, who's going to have an onboard shot, and him and David talking strategy, I think. Or something of that like.
Once we get I feel like we're always trying to evolve this stream to get better and better and better shots. Like the onboards, huge thank you to you and Wes for doing the work, because if you followed along, it's been kind of
it's tricky.
The thing that never really goes well on this stream is getting these onboards, but it is fantastic shots.
Wes has done all the research and all the testing. He's the guy that makes everything around here work.
Oh, so thankful for a neighbor like him. But yeah, we're always trying to get it better. I think having like onboard audio like this at some point would be awesome.
Yeah. David told us that during the endurance race that we can call him and have him on the live stream.
Oh, that's true, because a lot of people run cardos, so we
Yep.
could, yeah, that'd be
So
fun.
we'll look to have that improvement here in 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
If he runs endurance, I don't know. We'll do something. I don't know.
Marshall, Armand, Rachel, I think Nate runs one. Definitely David. I'm trying to think. PJ and Katie run one. There's lots of people we could call. That'd be kind of funny if we called them during the race and just messed them up.
I don't know. Let's see.
Not messed them up, but like it would throw their groove off to have a phone call right in the middle of the race. Are you going to try and call David?
I haven't paired the soundboard. I'll have to let that rock another day.
Yeah.
All right, you got onboards with Marshall Miller, who we were on a second ago. We've got onboards with Tyler Covell, who's sitting back there amazingly in the 6th spot, even though all these times are super fast tonight. And we've also got a GoPro on Katie Wise, who's joining us back there on the 11th spot of the grid.
Good GoPros. This will be 3 people I was thinking about. How are they going to do in this race?
I believe this is the first time that David has sat on the pole position for a GP race.
Yep.
This year, at least. Everybody's looking at track lights tonight. As you can tell, when they're circling around the carousel back there, it's hard to see the flag, so track lights it is tonight. And 10 laps because of the added track length for the outdoor extension. That's something that we vary here. The only K1 to have an indoor-outdoor track. What you got in the chat?
Shout out to Rossi. Yeah.
Oh.
Big Rossi fan here.
Oh, yeah. Number 46.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not Alexander Rossi, unfortunately. Not an IndyCar guy.
No. MotoGP.
He did good at the Detroit Grand Prix today.
Oof, we got MotoGP fans, so not to take off my shirt, but I've got wait a sec, Pedro Acosta under here, so
the stream got weird.
It did. We're watching feed. I'm taking my shirt off. It's all good. We're having fun. Different disciplines of racing all come back into one. I love it. I love it.
Well, and good job for Arrow McLaren today and their result in a wet drying track situation in Detroit.
I saw that.
If you haven't seen it yet, watch it tonight.
Yeah, we had Isle of the Man going on this week, so I've been glued to that for the past 4 days. And then today was the Superbike and the Super Sidecar race. That was awesome. And then we had Indy and Detroit, which was awesome. And then MotoGP today in Italy, which is always good.
All right, we're going to get rid of us. We're going to set this up for round 6 of the GP Series. You have David Pons on the pole, Marshall Miller and Rachel Hart, your top 3. They're just going to stand by and wait for the lights, and we're going to have all 14 drivers in the field for one big main tonight. Let's see what happens. Oh, false start from David. Got to back it up. Banned. Black flag.
Adam's going to make sure he's all lined up, and we're going to go again. We've never had that. No. We've had people be late on the start, but...
He said anytime somebody does something wrong, they get banned.
He said that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big mess up from pole position. All right, let's try this again.
And the lights are green, and they're off. Round 6 of the GP Series from K1 Speed in Canton, Ohio. Everyone lined up nose to tail as they snake their way through turns 2 and 3. Look at how even those cars are running.
Yeah, very clean start.
Everybody rushing to the outside as we pick them up with a lot of even gaps. I didn't see a lot of other movement going on through the ranks. Let's see what they do through the S's. Everybody tightens up just a little bit, but everyone else getting through relatively clean. Katie getting a little bit of a bump back there from Jonathan as David's going to lead the first lap of this 10-lap heat.
Marshall and Rachel right on him. Rachel putting down the fastest lap so far of a 39.6. She is right on Marshall's tail.
Anybody got a good run at the start-finish line because of their starting position? That helps with their first times. And you're going to have a lot of runs here at the top. Let's see if anybody wants to take any different lines or run any kind of
Rachel
defensive
on the
line.
inside. Oof.
Right. Whoa, getting pushed. And then Marshall back into third after that move. She took him on the inside line.
That was half a cart length, so that does count. He was out pretty wide into that turn. I'm surprised he didn't play defense with that.
Situations reversed. Usually Marshall moving up through the field. He's now dropped back down to the third spot. He's now got Nate Groh behind him and followed by Armand Deligny. Armand right on the tail of Nate Groh, who qualified well. He's now running in the 8 machine. All setting lap times in the 40-second time lapse. We'll go on board with Marshall Miller. Running the number 1. Look at the line of cars as they were just snaking their way through here. Cy Linderman picking up the back of the pack. And we'll see if there's any changes in the order, but no, we still have in the middle heats between the 4, 5, and 6 position, Nate, Armand, and Tyler all closely knit there. Got a little bit of a gap pulled out by David, who's now running out to the outdoor pretty much unchallenged at this point.
I was going to say, that gap is opening up pretty good with David.
I think that little bit of battle between Marshall and Rachel caused that gap, and they're staying consistent now.
Yeah, if he's able to run faster than them for 10 laps, then he'll be all right. But if he misses a couple lines, then those drivers are going to be all over him.
Checking on board with Katie Wise to see what this looks back in her spot. She has moved up to the number 9 position. Rachel Hart going purple with a 39.1. Marshall looking at the back of the number 28 machine.
Same gap.
Same gap.
Into the outside S's, and they tighten up a little bit there because of the braking zone, but once they get out of that, it's the same gap in the top 4, really, that we've seen since Rachel made that pass.
Tyler, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, Tyler's got a great shot of Armand and the traffic up ahead of them.
Look at all those 39s being set on the leaderboards now that we're into lap 5.
Nate
Groh, 39.0. Fastest lap of the race so far. Check back on Marshall Miller to see what his gap is. It's pretty much the same.
Rachel's eating into that gap a little bit with David, but not much. Maybe a couple cart lengths.
That is true. It has tightened up a little bit. One thing to catch the driver. It's a whole other thing to try to pass them.
That's it. Right as we switch that camera angle, Katie was looking on the inside of that turn here. She is coming through the turn here, looking on the inside of the carousel. Is she going to be able to make that?
She's got Trent right in front of her.
Yep. Maybe in turn 1.
Yeah, Trent being the qualifier that she qualified with Katie in, and they were very similar lap times.
It's like
all down through the leaderboards, positions 1 through 12, all 39s on the board at this point in lap 6.
it makes sense that gap between Rachel and David hasn't changed much. Rachel's running a 39
Oh, sorry,
flat.
I didn't mean to switch that.
Katie
Katie
did
went
make
down
it.
the inside, or over under on Trent, and let's see what happens when they round the inside. She has gained that position.
She will not give it back.
Yeah. The Bull has taken her spot as David Pons now goes 38.9, the first of a couple drivers to hit 38s. With lithium batteries, the lap times always, well, almost in every situation, come down as they run these laps. Let's pan over to the right and pick up David, the leader here.
Closing that gap up all the time.
I know David's always got followers in the chat, so we'll follow him along. Marshall still back here with a little bit of a gap to Rachel. All things considered, though, this finishing position wouldn't put him in a bad spot for the points. We already saw he is way ahead of these other drivers, and there's only 1 point separating the two or each position, so dropping back to third doesn't really hurt in the championship standings. You just have to keep the long game in mind. David holding a defensive line, going through the S's, trying to keep the car from wheel spinning as you exit the S's. That's a difficult challenge to do. You just feel it ever so subtly as you're off camber coming out of the S's at a high speed. If you don't slow the car down on the outdoor track, as Rachel's kind of giving him the bump around the outside.
On the white flag. She's got to make a move now.
Does Rachel have anything for David on this last lap? They've now got a couple feet in between them.
This is where she could make that move on the inside like she did with Marshall if she's got the speed, but
David's
doesn't look like it.
Got to keep the tight line so he doesn't give an open window for her to slide in, and he does it perfectly, and she follows right along. One more corner to go before the 6th round is quickly coming to a close. David Bonds nodding his head as he crosses the finish line. He will take the first position, followed by Rachel, Marshall, Nathan, and Armand finishing your top 5. Look at all those lap times as you look down through the entire leaderboard. What a fantastic race.
Yeah, really close times all the way down through the board. It's really tough to make passes when the karts are really close like this unless someone makes a mistake in front of you. And everyone was driving such a good line that there was not many opportunities to pass in this race. So
yeah, because how many mistakes can you make in 10 laps? I mean,
yeah,
when you're driving this well, you don't tend to veer from your successful line that you set the qualifying time in.
It's a quick race. And if you guys like this kind of racing, watch the Endurance Series because it's the same kind of racing, longer race.
Just
so
longer.
Who knows what would have happened.
With the added challenge of a pit stop.
Yep.
If you haven't seen the pit stops before, it's pretty cool to watch.
We are very lucky to have that here.
Yep.
Congratulations to David. Marshall in 3rd place right behind him.
As he shakes the hand of Rachel, congratulating her. Did he say now go run the women's GP?
Yeah, he did. So I think we're going to probably take a short break, I would imagine, and then we'll be right back with the first women's GP. I say we run the women's GP and see what happens because until I'm told otherwise, I guess.
Yeah, we might as well just run the wrong song. All right, let's try this one.
There we go.
There we go. We'll take a quick break. Come back with you in just a few moments for the first ever women's GP. Thanks for being here, guys. Well, it didn't take very long to get the winner up to the box. We got David, round 6. Congratulations.
I don't like running. I'm much better at racing.
Do you want to take a second, catch your breath?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Tell us about the race. We saw that Rachel might have had a run on you at the very end, but, you held the line.
I Felbered her.
You Felbered her?
I gave her a Felber.
What did you say to her as you shook her hand?
Good job, little buddy. You beat him. I said, now go compete in your own league and win that race.
Yeah, that'll work.
No, it's one of those things like if you'd ask Marshall what he does when he leads the race, everything's going on behind him. He doesn't know.
You just don't make mistakes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I had a little bit of pestering there at the end, but you guys might have seen how I solved that. I Felbered her.
I didn't. I'm not recalling that, so.
We went into turn 1, and I guess she got a good run on me, and I, right before I set up for number 2, I saw the front of her cart out of the corner of my eye, and I just went a little bit wider than I should.
Oh.
I just boop and gave her and went.
Yeah, I didn't think too much about that because that was you're pretty much middle of the road at that point. Yeah, you may have drifted out to the side a little bit, but you had the line turning left, so yeah. Felbert is
gotta show
if you go into turn 4 on there. Felbert's on the inside, and they just squish you over.
No, Felbert is you're going into number 3, and you're on the inside of them. And
I like
you're
how
up
we're arguing about what a
Felbert
Felbert is.
Well, that's has it happened to you?
No, I haven't raced. I haven't raced with them, so
no. What I call a Felber is when you're going there. It's like they're going into turn 3, and they're more towards the turn 3 wall, and you come up next to them, and they literally look at you, and then go like this, and smack you against the other wall, and then turn in for 3. That's a Felber.
Okay, got it. I'll remember that.
I'm super happy. One of these.
Oh, are you missing your podium celebration? Because they might need to take your picture.
I don't know. Jason ran down there to, I think, organize the female race, so I'm not really worried about it. And no, Marshall's probably gone by now anyway. He probably ran away. No, I mean, I'm going to be excited to go home and watch the stream because, like I said, I have no idea what was going on behind me. Yeah. All of a sudden, I realized Rachel was behind me. I'm like, where did that come from? How did that happen? So, did you see it? Do you want to tell me?
What you mean? What Rachel was doing?
How Rachel got past Marshall?
Oh, she made a very clean pass back in the carousel.
Did she bump him?
Squiggly said that cart number 1 had some issues with the steering last time he was there.
Oh,
I'll let you address that one.
I couldn't tell you. I haven't ran it.
Okay, there you go.
Couldn't tell you. Marshall didn't seem really happy with it, but at the same time, you get what you're given, right?
I love you, Squiggly, but you have to define what an issue is.
Yeah. Trying to tell James there's something wrong with his cart's hard.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
You should have seen when you watch this back.
Yeah.
The snake of cars through the whole race.
I mean, was there action going on behind me? That's what matters. If there was action going on behind you,
It was competitive.
Okay.
There wasn't a lot of movement. I mean, Katie got around Trent.
Nice.
That's the
good job, Katie. Let's go.
I think that's the only movement that I saw. The board was filled with 39-second lap times.
Nice.
The last
awesome.
12 out of the 14 were in
I genuinely was not looking. I will tell you that for a fact. I genuinely was not looking.
Just worry about position.
Okay, so I don't feel bad telling you. Marshall and I had a shake hands agreement where we said, all right, let's work together and run away. And if you get a faster cart than me and you're pushing me the whole time, I'll just let you in. Sportsmanship. But then he disappeared. And I was like, oh, crap, now I got to outrun Rachel.
Yeah.
No, I had fun. I was this close to the record, James. Was that close?
I know. Looks like Jason might have an interview with us.
With us?
No, we have for us, I mean.
Hi, Jason.
We'll bring them down. Oh, we have the first 3 females that are going to run the GP.
Jason, you're not talking.
Hang on.
We can't hear you. Hang on a minute.
I'm checking. Check.
Don't start.
Check.
You're good.
Go for it.
You're up.
Go for
it.
The
ladies and Jason is what they just said, so I like that. Yeah. It's cute. So the first ever, and I think we are the actual first ever that I know of, and definitely the first one on the stream, but women's endurance. So how's everybody feel about that collectively?
GP.
I'm sorry, GP. it got corrected in my ear, and you guys said it at the same time. I'm like, I'm tuned for this different. I've already dropped the mic today. I can't do any worse. So, what do you girls think?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Ready?
Yeah.
So I think we're going to do one qualifier, one final, because there's 3 of you. So it makes sense. I think it's going to be a great race.
I think
because all 3.
They're supposed to do 2 qualifiers, just like regular GP.
Just regular GP.
Yeah.
So 2 qualifiers and a final.
Yeah.
2 qualifiers and a final. It's official. 2 qualifiers and a final.
Yeah.
So we'll probably just run back to back because you girls can handle that, right? I cannot wait for you girls to race because you guys are the 3 most competitive girls we have here. So.
That's what we need the other Rachel.
Well, next month, get her here. I mean, that's the whole idea of this is to get the girls together and race, right?
Yeah, it's girls' night.
It's what?
It's girls' night.
Okay, cool. All right. Cool. All right. Well, the girls are going to get in their carts. They're going to randomly select their carts just like we do in GP, and you guys will get rolling, and good luck to everyone. I don't know who's going to win out of you 3, so I can't wait to watch.
Jason, we're
based
putting
on
up in
passing,
sport
it's
bets
Katie.
right now.
If it's based on speed, maybe me, maybe Savannah. She's probably the lightest, so she has the advantage there.
She's more aerodynamic.
I don't
All right.
know that. Hey, ask him real quick if Savannah and Rachel have raced very often together. I don't remember seeing them.
That is a very good point. So have you two, Rachel and Savannah, have you guys raced each other very often?
Not since Boostly, I don't
Bye,
think.
Marshall.
That was a while back.
It was often last year.
But we haven't seen you two go head-to-head that often, and when you throw the bull into the mix, I don't know. This is going to be great. This is going to be awesome to watch, but cool. So it'll be really cool to watch you girls watch.
Yeah. Can we start inverse order?
I think it's going to be the same exact rules as GP because that's true. I'm not going to argue with it. The girls said they're going to do something. I'm going to let them do it, so that's fine with me. You guys, whatever you want. All right. Well, we'll kick it right back to you. I'll be up there in a minute, and the girls are going to select their carts, and we'll be going for the first women's GP at K1 Speed Canton.
Cool. Thank you, Jason.
Live on Sports Bets. Place your bets. Where's your money? K1 Racer, I see you in the chat. We're voting for Savannah. I'm in the same boat, to be honest.
I don't want to leave Katie out of it because
No, absolutely not. Katie's the wild card in this.
But Savannah has excellent pace, and Rachel's very consistent. So
yeah, but here's the thing: Rachel just ran 4 races in a row. Savannah's got no practice tonight, so I think that's unfair.
Should be fun.
Well,
I've seen her jump into a car cold and run.
No, she gets 2 qualifiers, so that's 1 warm up and 1 good run.
Yeah,
how it always goes.
Yeah, I think if they don't run 2 qualifiers, then they'll be talking about carts and stuff. So,
girl talk. Oh, we can't say that. Banned.
Oh, we're gonna use 27. Oh yeah, we did.
What were you?
Yeah.
Oh, did I get banned?
We did ban you.
Oh,
false start.
Yeah, sorry. I got a little antsy. I would have gladly DNF'd myself.
I saw you go like this, but did that mean?
No, just take me out. I'm done.
I'll take you out. Could have just jumped out.
I proved my point.
You should have jumped out of the cart and just left it there.
Yeah, I should just started walking. Like, all right, guys,
Done.
later.
You guys are gonna have to drive around it.
I'll need a substitute. Jason, you want back in here?
Oh.
He asked me how the race was, and I'm like, I don't know. What's going on behind me?
If you guys are still hanging out with us, thank you. If you guys are watching the replay of this, thank you.
Gotta watch the girls race.
Yeah.
I know they announced this on International Women's Day, and a lot of our
And then nothing else after that.
Thanks.
That was it.
K1. These are 3 of the best girls we have, and I know they were all talking about it, and they're like, we got to bring some of the other girls that race here every once in a while, and I think it's cool if we could get some of the girls, like, so there's Rachel Light is the other Rachel that's pretty quick.
Yep.
She's
light.
She is, yeah, and they're very competitive. I mean, Rachel is top of the class. Guys, girls, doesn't matter. She's a very fast racer. Savannah as well. Savannah won the teen league, right?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
And she'll be going to the Nationals here in a couple weeks.
That's awesome. And Katie, we know very well on the stream as the Bull, and she is very competitive. So I'd love to see this take off. I just hope other K1s can also sustain it.
Yeah, because we have to have 3 drivers. Go ahead and follow them, Zach. We're live with you. We have to have 3 drivers in order to make the league work, so this is the minimum right here. You want to start bringing in other drivers to make it competitive and more fun.
Yeah.
But there is no question about who we have GoPros with. So we have Rachel with the first one. We've got Katie with the second one. And we're on board with Savannah. So
I think it's also cool that K1 said that they could run both leagues. I think that's the best part. Is on the website it says they're encouraged to run both or whatever like that to get more experience. But you know,
and partially because they don't have too much of a choice starting it in the middle of the season because you'd have to forfeit all your points.
I was gonna let you say it. No, it's really cool just to even just see 3 really competitive racers out on track at the same time is a really kind of cool grudge match, I think, in a way, and they're very competitive. So I can't wait to see. Qualifying will be fun. Let's see. Rachel already at a 39.5, Katie 39.8, and Savannah 40.1. Katie literally
Katie
hopping her way through the corner.
Katie, you know how to fix that.
No, she gives it more gas.
Yeah, turns the wheel harder.
Yes.
Oh, I'll just be hearing about complaints of the carts, that's all.
She loves you. Come on.
I know.
Junior and teen women's K1 racer. I have no idea. You probably have more information than I do.
Yeah, because we're only going based on what's on the website.
Yes. Yeah, so we formatted it the same way as regular adult GP, and we'll go with it from there.
Look at those times, though. We got a 39.5 from Rachel, a 39.8 from Savannah, and another 39.8 from Katie. So this will be super competitive.
Yeah, I love it. I wish we've seen it many times at this facility where guys and girls will come here for a first time, they don't race, and they show up to K1 Speed Canton, and they go on a date night. And the girlfriend beats the boyfriend.
Yeah.
We've seen it a lot.
It happens a lot. Guys, word of advice. So, you look up YouTube videos about how to drive go-karts fast. You're looking at the wrong advice. You got to look at electric go-karts.
Yes.
You got to follow our channel.
Yep.
Because what you guys are doing is you're embarrassing yourselves by going into a corner, jamming on the wheel, skidding sideways, making it look so cool for your girlfriend, and then she beats you.
Because she's smooth. She'll come into it smooth, slow down, turn, and
Yep.
I mean...
She takes a very calculated approach.
Yep.
Runs very well.
Yeah, we've seen it a lot.
I bet it happens 80% of the time.
It is cute to watch, though, because the guy gets all frustrated.
Yeah. How is she so fast? I drifted around the corner.
It's great, though. I think, especially Rachel, this will be her second time. Rachel Hart's going back to national championships for the second time. I think she's got a very good shot at it this year with the experience she has.
Yep.
Even I've talked to her, and she said she's been doing gas carts and everything she can get her hands on to get prepared for, as Katie gives the point by to Savannah. Savannah, same thing, preparing for her first national championship for the teen league, and then she'll graduate to the adult league, which is why she's running the adult league women's GP. And Katie, if these 3 continue to run, if these are the only 3 we have, or if these 3 are the contenders for the season, these 3 will be out at the women's national championship. Because I think we send 3 from each state, right?
Yeah, assuming that the format follows all the way through.
Which hopefully it does. K1 has not really been known to change their mind at the very last second, so we're just going to pretend like this is the rules they wrote down, and this is what we're going to follow for the whole series.
Absolutely.
You tried. I'll give you a valiant effort for trying.
You have a gap of a .075 between Rachel and Savannah right now, between those 39.535s and the 7.40s.
Wow.
And you only have a half a second back there to Katie. Let's check up on Katie's onboard here. And they're both hopping through the corner there.
Mm-hmm. And she's got a good line in front of her. I really think Katie's going to utilize this as being right behind Savannah. She's going to just watch this line. She did drop her time on that last lap. About a 1/10 of a second.
I love the high-speed outdoor here. You really get to stay on the throttle for a good couple seconds and make sure the car revs all the way up to its 4,200 RPMs. As then you jam on the brakes appropriately. Of according to your speed and try to go through those double S's. Very tricky, challenging. It's a really cool track.
Yeah, if you need little tips for that, just rewind a little bit and watch the footwork.
Yep.
We did have a couple comments in the chat about that was a cool camera angle, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Follow them outside. Still looking at the same gap as they will come back to the start-finish line and get white flag that time by. And then we'll probably have a very quick changeover for them to go right into their second qualifier, I would imagine. Let's see what happens as Rachel comes across timing line. Does not improve. Neither does Savannah, and Katie, no. One last heater lap for the first qualifier.
Yeah, they were joking around about that before they went out on track. They're like, this will be really easy to get through. Just line up 3 carts and we'll take them.
Yeah. You can hear a little bit of tire squeal as they come across those corners where right in front of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
If you find yourself doing that a lot, you probably need to lift a little bit. And that we teach that all the time with as a checkered flag flies. Flying laps will count. Nobody improves. Okay. We teach that a lot with the lifting of the throttle. And it's so important in electric karting because when you get back on the throttle, you still have torque. You don't have to worry about your motor spinning back down. But anytime like that corner Rachel just went through and then this corner right here, you need to basically let off so you can settle the cart down. And you'll see that with any of the guys and gals running the 38s is that they're not staying on the throttle all the way out, even though it is tempting with the high speed.
Good advice.
Camera shot's a little delayed as it's been on for a little while, so apologies for that lag, but
we haven't lost the GoPros.
We haven't lost them yet.
So that's I'm still so excited about this. I love the onboard angles. Like my dream of this is everybody donates a little bit more money and we are able to buy a bigger board and more cameras and we have onboards for everybody on track. And it's just such a cool shot because with the limited GoPros we have now, we have to kind of just be selective of, where they go and selective by randomness sometimes of where the GoPros go, midfield, beginning of the field, end of the field. And if everybody had a GoPro, we'd be able to track whatever driver you're rooting for in real time and switch to where the action is on track. And as we lower that latency, it just gets better and better. So really appreciate the donation today. And if in lieu of donation, if you don't want to don't donate to us, then be sure, please subscribe, and click that notification bell there because that really does help YouTube put us into the algorithm that makes a little bit more money than 60 cents a month, give or take. Mark Davis says, go Savannah. Slay.
K1 Racer says, great comparison to gas and electric better. I mean, yeah, a little biased opinion, yeah. But I think they both have their advantages, disadvantages.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Driving style, everything.
Yeah. Well, I'm still really jealous of the pool of talent that gas still pulls because it's been around for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's, I don't know to say inexpensive. I mean, but in a way, it's a relatively, what is the right term? It's
been around for so long that
it's an effective way to race.
Yeah, it's any technology that's been around for a long time. It's going to appear cost effective, right? But I think our YouTube channel, our racing series, our stuff that we do here, the amount of tech that James and Wes puts into these karts, we are way ahead of the time here. I think we're still ahead of this curve. I think that the next generation of racers is going to have their parents have an electric car. And they're going to be used to the technology, and soon it's going to be people are going to be growing up with electric carts, electric cars. That kind of stuff is going to become more prevalent. And as with anything, as the size and scale of a product grows, it does make it cheaper, more economical, more affordable. I hope to see that with electric karting someday because it's like we've said many times, it's pinned on our YouTube channel. We're not out to save the world with these karts. It's a really cool after effect that we get to represent e-karting, EV racing
whatever term you want to throw at it. To us, it's a convenience. We're able to run this any series year long, indoor, outdoor, everything with these karts, and charge them up and let them rip. But that doesn't mean that we're sitting on our laurels with it. We're going to push it as hard as we can. 4th generation of batteries, iterations of technology we get to throw at them, and everything we get to do is because we really love the racing side of this, and that's just helping even the arrive and drive stuff get better and better. So we just are able to produce a better product here with the racing, I think.
Very well said.
Sorry to word vomit, but I don't know. I'm passionate about this because I think it really does help something of a greater good. Even a small series like this, just 3 girls on track racing a GP series that's brand new. I still think this is the first time we're ever seeing this. This is the first time the world is seeing this because I think we're ahead of the curve with GP being in our time zone and having this on a stream. This is the first time this is being put out to the world. Maybe this sparks an interest in girls to come out and try this. This doesn't look intimidating.
Yeah, and that's the idea.
Even though these girls are very intimidating if you're on track with them.
Yeah, not in person though.
No. I just mean racing. They're very established racers.
Yeah.
Nicest people in the world, though. They'll tell you how to get faster. I know Rachel has coached people. Savannah has coached people.
Oh, that's interesting. I just looked at Katie's profile. That was her 200th race here at K1 Speed.
Aw, congratulations.
Happy 200, Katie.
Woo.
Savannah just reached 373. And Rachel has run 800. Oh, sorry, I need to switch the camera. But I brought those up because, I mean, relative comparison, we've been open for 2 years now, and look at the driver talent that has been attracted. I hope that incentivizes people who would come across a live stream like this and say, it's a challenge that I can take on.
Yeah.
Once you get started in it and you get involved in what we have to offer here, you can do well. We don't want to make it seem like these are the elite athletes that nobody is able to touch. It's something that you can join in on.
Absolutely. Even the Pro Series events, those are things that you can easily work your way into. Tyler is a pro-level driver, and he's got 70 races, I think it was.
Yeah.
Not that many.
Less than 100. And for those races considered, 12 laps indoors and 8 laps outdoors. So a 10-minute race, basically. You come in, you run 3 or 4 races. You practice a couple days a week.
And these skills translate to other forms of racing. We've interviewed everyone from Will Nonamaker to the Felbers. You can take these skills and apply them to other forms of racing and driving in general. I think it makes you a smooth driver. Although if Katie ever got road rage in real life, I was going to say, I would love to race on a big track with Katie. In 2 cars we didn't care about.
You see how the cart's kind of hopping on her like that? She needs to settle down with that throttle a little bit. That'll help settle the car down. If I could help play driver coach.
She just took that information, digested it as go faster.
Yeah. That's what it should be. Rachel Purple, 39.4 on her last lap. Again, the gap between the drivers, Rachel and Savannah on the last race was 0.075. So we're going to see if they have that same performance. Right now the gap is 0.45, so they're pretty close. Katie back there with a 0.6 gap.
Not bad. Still very close.
Go ahead and watch Rachel. She's the fastest person on track right now. She rounds turn number 1 in the car number 23.
I know we had the camera of the foot angle earlier, but this actually, she's short enough that her helmet doesn't get so much in the way of her pedals. You can actually kind of see her pedal work with this in real time. And it's interesting comparing the drivers. I can't wait to go back myself and rewatch the stream and kind of watch the footwork of the different drivers we had.
Yeah. Oh, she got that wheel spin coming out of the corner right there. You could hear it. In NASCAR, they have the crank up the volume. Well, let's hear an electric motor. That's going to be the fastest lap for her so far, a 39.4.
I like that sound. I hope the camera does it justice to people that haven't raced here, how fast those carts are moving when they go out those doors.
Yeah, you're clocking just around 40, 42 miles an hour when you hit this straightaway at full speed.
It's fast, and to control a cart as well as these drivers do through this right there, that turn is a lot easier said than done.
Yeah, because again, we talked about the slope on our last live stream, but that concrete outside is sloped off camber, so when you're coming around the corner, you get a little bit of wheel spin as the left-hand side of the car kind of gives up, and the split differential spins on you. That'll be another purple lap for her, a 39.385.
It's a good thing to touch on. Yeah, these are open differential or split differential carts. They're not solid axle rear carts.
Correct.
Chain driven.
So with her last time being, her last qualifier being a 39.2, she's making significant improvements. Sorry, not significant. 39.38, so pretty close.
You know that noise that we...
Notice Katie has jumped in the number 2 spot, though. We didn't touch on that.
By a tenth of a second, so hopefully she's able to hold that out. That's good.
So Savannah's first qualifier was a 39.325. Right now, that will allow her to maintain the second spot.
Savannah just jumped up with a 39.74 as white flag flies. We saw that when Rachel was coming across the line there.
And we'll take our last lap with Savannah. There's the other cool thing about the speed. 40 miles an hour may not seem real quick, but when you're sitting, 3 inches off the ground?
It's quick.
It feels quick.
I was going to say that the noise is... I've become fond of the electric cart noise as it winds out like that. Me and James were at a cart conference at... where was that? That was at Jordan's place. High Caliber in Michigan. And we got to demo some carts, and one of them, or a couple of them, were belt-driven, and they were so quiet. It was disconcerting to me.
It looked like the car was floating.
Yeah. You could literally, if it was pitch black and this cart was running at you full speed, you would not hear it until your head hit the ground. Like, it's crazy, and all you hear is the tire squeal. I kind of like the noise of the chain-driven carts just because it gives the driver or viewer something of like a inherent sense of speed, almost.
Yeah, I do too, and I thought that was that the GoPro going to die?
I hope not.
Oh, well, we'll find out. The belt-driven system, I was wondering at first if that was a better version, for lack of a better term. But a lot of the guys that are running belt drives don't necessarily like them. They like the maintenance intervals of chains and the ability to control the chains and
the ability to know when they're wearing out. Because I was on track with one of these carts that are belt-driven, and I blew the belt up as I was driving it, and there was no warning. It just blew up.
Very sensitive to the alignment. But yeah, a chain is too, so I guess that's not it.
Yeah.
You brought up the Kart Expo. Shout out to High Caliber and the team. I don't know the chances of them watching this or not, but they brought together 7 or 8 manufacturers of go-karts all in the same room and allowed everyone participating to drive them back to back with each other.
It was amazing.
And I couldn't believe it.
How 7 different manufacturers all
they all agreed. They're like, yeah, we'll bring a cart and we'll put it up to snuff to compare with other manufacturers.
Yeah, same track, all these carts, you could take each one of them out back to back and say to the guy's face that built it, this and this. That was really cool.
I think that's great for the industry. I think it shows the confidence that some of these manufacturers have in their designs and their different builds and stuff. And I was trying not to play bias, but I have to throw in there, like, we took our cart up there as representing OTL. I loved it.
Yep.
The other karts were good, and they have significant advantages, but OTL has a very good Superleggero.
You know what I noticed is some of them did something better than others. So there were things that were better about this kart that handled greater. The speed was phenomenal out of this one or something. OTL had this middle ground, this high middle ground, not just there, it's okay. It's a high middle ground of what it does really well, which is everything we kind of do with it.
Drivability.
Yep.
Handling and feel of the car, and just overall weight distribution, because other manufacturers have different designs that change the handling on the loads and stuff like that. And, you can be critical on all different levels, but they have a very good product, and they've helped us out a lot here. So I had to at least throw that out there. It was a joy to test all those cars and come back to OTL and be like, we have a really good car here.
Yeah. They don't sponsor this channel. Curtis, hi, please. It would please, but
well, it kind of did. He helped us out with batteries.
Oh, big time. Oh, so Curtis is the reason.
I guess that's our full disclosure is they helped us out with batteries. So.
Big time. They do believe in what we're doing here, but it goes back to kind of what I just said: is racing is the ultimate crucible of motorsport and mechanical engineering. You have to break it in order to know how to fix it, and that's what racing does. So they really took a liking to what we do with their karts, and we give them, James gives them huge amounts of feedback and, just building the batteries and everything. But to be able to take a kart, and I don't know if it was luck, if it was fate, if it was whatever, that you wound up with these karts, and then just to see them across the board back to back with other karts is like, I go to other karting facilities with a different brand of kart, and I already know what I'm getting into. Yeah. And it's like, these are just good karts.
I don't think there was a car there that I drove that was like, oh, this is terrible.
Right.
But
for what we do, arrive and drive, plus the competitive edge of it, you need to be able to, even the maintenance end of it. Jordan brought up a really good idea at the end of it that he was like, next year we want to, have each manufacturer into the shop, flip the cart up and show, because, you're there as a person that's looking to buy a fleet of these or a few of these and run them competitively. You want to know what the maintenance is like on these.
Well, they're buying a fleet of them to do for arrive and drive.
Yes, yeah.
Which is an even scarier proposition.
Yeah. The first question is what breaks the most? And a good salesperson will tell you up front, these are the things you want to look into, because surprises with them are not good.
As you're looking down on our 3 qualifiers for the Women's GP, if you've joined us late, thanks for coming along. We already ran the GP series, so you can either rewind a little bit later or you can watch the replay. But this is the first initiative from K1 Speed to try to create a women's league, and we had 3 drivers who were willing to run this tonight. So this is what we're going to run. We're going to run a final position-based race based upon their best lap times, and we're just going to see what happens.
Raymond's got a question here. When would you guys lift off the accelerator when going outside on the high-speed turn? I definitely screech a little.
Let's switch over to outdoor camera real quick. Mm-hmm. So if you look on the right-hand side of your screen, and you're going to call that turn 5. Zach, can you pan a little bit to the right? Keep going to the right. Yeah, that corner right there would be turn 5. This one is turn 6. That would be the lift corner right there, the one that Rachel's going through. It's quick. It's just like all the other ones.
It's just quick.
You're just letting the car settle a little bit.
It just unloads the rear end, loads the front end just a little bit to let you, and that's where you see some drivers. We saw Savannah and Rachel doing it, where they're working the wheel just a little bit in that corner, and it just gives you that traction to try and straighten the kart out to get into that next turn. You got to play with the pedals a little bit to get that one right. It took a while.
And when you let off the throttle, you don't have to wait for the engine to spool down. All you're doing is you're taking voltage away from it, which takes drive off, and that's all you need to do. So you don't wait for it to decelerate. You don't wait to slow down. You're just taking the drive off of it so that you can reapply it when you're back into a more straight line.
It's a very quick movement, and fortunately with the drivers we have in the onboards, you'll actually be able to see that in their pedal work as they go outside on these GoPros that are working fantastic. I'm so excited about that.
I guess the only thing I got to look at...
And we're off.
They're off.
Here we go. For the first ever women's GP
here at K1 Speed Canton.
I was trying to think, is it GP Challenge, Speed Canton? Here we go. So right away, Rachel Hart out in front, Savannah closing up a gap. Katie, a few car lengths behind.
As the sun is setting over the outdoor track, you're going to get a little bit of a cooling temperature effect. See if that affects any of the grip or any of the racing lines. Typically not a lot, but every little bit does count here. As you see Rachel riding the carousel back to the start-finish line. They're only going to have 10 laps tonight in the qualifying final, in the GP final. Savannah getting a 40.2, just knocking off a 10th from Rachel. We'll see if she's got anything for her during these 10 laps. Both Rachel and Katie already ran their Adult League GP series. This is the first one that Savannah has done tonight, and she's done a good job of jumping right into her qualifier and staying competitive.
First lap, fastest lap out of the three of them so far, Savannah.
All these
40.2
drivers staying within half a second of each other in lap times. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit, and let's follow Rachel as she comes across. That's the 39 right there.
All three of them in the 39s.
Going to see if Katie can give chase from behind as she's kind of wiggling a little bit. Let's zoom in a little bit more towards turn 4 here as we follow them outside. Great shot of the Hot Rod Patrol sitting out there, keeping the parking lot safe for us tonight. Look how far to the right Rachel was holding that corner as she came through the S's. I haven't seen her hold that close before.
Yeah, neither have I.
Might be experimenting, not sure, or just making sure she's defensive, maybe. We'll see what that does to the lap time. I'm curious. 39.6, okay.
The gap has remained pretty much the same between the three of them.
Yeah, all their qualifiers and now the final, very similar.
Katie bounces off the wall a little bit, but it's all right. Getting her bearings.
Katie's bouncing off the walls for sure. Let's see if she holds that same right. Yeah, she does. She's a little bit further right than everybody else. Track lights are on outside. And let's follow on. We'll be a little bit lagged for Katie as she's going to come around the corner you just saw her run. I guess that's the next thing for us to work on is how far behind the camera gets. But as long as we got picture.
Hey, if we have to reset them in between big races, that's totally fine. If they stay connected, I'm happy with that. 39.3 for Rachel as she goes across the 4th lap. Okay, so this will answer your question, Raymond.
Right here. Oh, she doesn't. She doesn't lift on it.
No, she just worked the wheel a little bit.
Yeah.
That was the squealing that we heard. So she scrubbed some speed off with her front end using the steering wheel like that.
Let's see what Savannah does coming through. I kind of missed it on that lap.
Missed it. We'll grab it for the next one.
Sorry, that was Katie. Savannah's this one. All right.
Take a ride with Savannah around a lap. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we got fans of Savannah in the chat. On board the number 11 machine.
39.1 for Rachel on lap 5. Improving on that time.
I would guess we're going to see some 38s possibly before the end of the race. We're only halfway.
I mean, Savannah and Katie running very similar times. That's, only a couple tenths of seconds off. That's not too bad.
Savannah stays on the gas all the way through.
Yep.
The throttle. I did have somebody ask me the other day what the throttle was, so I guess using the term gas is sometimes appropriate.
The green pedal on your right-hand side.
The green.
Green for go, red for stop. Come here and enjoy a driver's briefing. We will teach you all about the pedals. Or I shouldn't say we, James will teach you all about the pedals.
Yeah, I can do those.
Yeah, she is extremely right coming through that turn. That's the first onboard I've watched of that, and the camera angle doesn't do it justice until you go on board with her. She's almost hugging that wall through the S's out there.
Natural tendency is for people to dive off to the left.
39.1.
They carry too much speed through that corner, and that usually sets them up wrong. A little bit of track on the barrier. We'll ride around with her and enjoy the sounds. White flag will fly this time around for Rachel Hart, who's leading the first GP Women's Series. Looks like she'll easily be able to maintain the position, but we have still one lap to go. So we're watching Savannah and Katie round turn 4 for the final time.
Final way around the carousel to the start and finish line.
Rachel rounds it out, and she will be the winner of the inaugural Women's GP League the month of June here at K1 Speed Canton. Congratulations to all 3 of these drivers. Look at the final gap between the cars and how competitive they were. That
Very
is
close.
Great to see. Maybe we'll be able to grab one of them for an interview before we sign off.
Sounds good.
I think we had some Savannah fans, so Jason's going to go down and see if we can talk to Savannah.
Oh, you're right like that. You're perfect.
All right, we got Jason down there with all 3 of them, I guess. We'll talk to Savannah maybe first. She was the popular one in the chat. We didn't get to talk to her yet. So.
Yeah, so starting with Savannah, Weber in second place. Great job. So you had a lot of people rooting for you in the chat. How was the race?
It was interesting. I lost control on most of the cards, like just on how they were and how like I was trying to be able to handle them. Didn't really work out well with some of them, but it's okay.
I mean, the lap times were like really consistent between all 3 of you. So if you were not handling it well, it didn't look like that. You outrun some of the guys we see here.
Okay.
So great job. Congratulations, second place. And Katie in third.
Hey, I'm third place in points.
You are third place in points. You're on the podium, so that's great. How was the race?
That was rough. I feel like I just ran 6 races.
I think you did.
But I ran a 39 in each one, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, lap times were really consistent. The gap was, did break up throughout the race, but the lap times were really consistent. So any ways to improve this, you girls think, for 3 drivers, if there's smaller groups, like what suggestions would you have to kind of make it competitive, interesting, keep the gap closer on like a bigger track like this?
I would always like stick behind the faster to learn, to be able to learn faster. Always know to have fun with it. It's not,
Jason, can you move that
don't be
mic closer?
serious with being competitive, but you need to have that fun competitive in a way.
Absolutely. And then Rachel Hart, first place in the first, I think it's FGP or
F-Series. F-Series is the label.
The F Series. Okay, so the F Series GP Speed, K1 Speed, that thing, right? So congratulations on first place. So what did you think of the race?
I think we need more women. We need more racers in general out here, right? So if you don't know, they run this series for kids, for junior teens, and for adults. And the top 3 from the state qualify to nationals. So,
What do you get at nationals?
well, they haven't really told us, but driving the cars in California is really, really awesome. And I just highly recommend it for any girls who want to enter motorsports or just come out and try it. This is like a great entry point to start with, and we'll teach you a lot.
I was going to say, we talked on the stream about it, that you 3 girls in particular, I've seen you girls coach other girls getting into this. And this is a very friendly way to get involved in racing and feel comfortable kind of doing it. I guess it's like, it's not as intimidating, but then I said that and laughed on the stream because I know personally racing against Katie and I have endless amounts of fights on track, but like racing the 3 of you is, kind of a daunting task for anybody. So in a girls' league, girls that want to try racing, definitely come out and try this because I know the 3 of you will help them along the way. So great race tonight. Congratulations. And we'll see you guys next month for the next one, I guess. And we'll go from there. So bring more girls. That's all right. So if you're a girl watching the stream and you're not here racing with the 3 of them, come race with them. They are fantastic racers and they will teach you everything they know. So congratulations to you girls, and we'll see you at the next one.
Thanks very much, Jason. That will wrap it up for us here in the booth. We want to appreciate and thank all of the track staff who make these events work, our camera guys working behind the scenes for you guys, bringing you the live stream. Jason, we'll probably see you next Monday for the Pro Endurance Series. Otherwise, I will look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks for the regular Endurance Championship Series, where we'll be heading into the middle of the season, 30-minute races in indoor electric karts.